Tesla stock, the top performer on the S&P 500 today, and it's up more than 80% since the election just 6 weeks ago. But will that run last? Let's bring in Steve Wesley, founder and managing partner of the Wesley Group and a Tesla board member. Steve, thank you so much for being here. How much of this excitement do you think will actually turn into upside for Tesla? And where do you see the catalysts that really play into this stock price movement in 2025?
Well, look, 80% increase in share price just since the November election, that's nosebleeding territory. And the surge doesn't appear to be based on fundamentals or new profits. So I think 2025 is really going to be a big year for Tesla, make or break. Here's what investors ought to be looking for. I think you're going to see auto sales. Last year, Tesla, 1.8 million units. I think this year it's going to be about the same. That's flat growth. That doesn't really justify this big uptick. The real question is, how quickly can Tesla get this subcompact, sub $30,000 Model Q into the market? I think that's going to be decisive.
Hello, YouTube. How are you? My name is Mike. This channel right here is Health and Wealth. Thanks for joining me today on the announcement of Group A's distributions that will be coming out on December the 30th. Today is December the 26th, so that is 4 days from today. Tomorrow is the ex-dividend date. So that means if you don't have your money in these funds by the end of today, then you will not get this month's distribution, but you would qualify for next month's if the money was still in there. If you need more information about when to invest to qualify for distributions, check out Google. Type in when can I invest in distribution or in dividend paying stocks and ETFs to be able to get paid for those. So today I want to go over Group A with you. This is the 4th edition of Group A. Some pretty cool news about it. YieldMax has decided to pay out their groups in every 4 weeks. So this month was the first time that Group A paid out twice in 1 month because of that. So I think that's pretty neat. They have mentioned that every single one of their groups will pay out 13 times a year because it is every 4 weeks. So this is the first one that got to take advantage of it, which is pretty awesome. So today we're going to go over Group A. I want to just share a little bit about my portfolio the month that I had here. And do me a favor in the comments today, talk about what you have, what you like, what you don't like, and something that interests you. Can you do all 4? For me, something that interests you in Group A, and then we'll go over that, and I'll be sure to comment back. So let's go over that. So first of all, I've got my my Twitter page open here. I just kind of let the world know how much I brought in this month, and by no means is this kind of bragging. I'm just kind of sharing my journey here as I go, trying to build this pile of money up to a bigger pile of money. So that one day I can just retire, that's the goal, right? So, so far my pile of money has paid me $577 for NVIDIA this month, $160 for Coney this month, and Misty paid me $487 for a total of $1,224. And that is post-tax because the account type that I have is called a tax-free savings account in Canada. When you have a TFSA, you do get taxed from American paying ETFs and distribution paying ETFs or dividend paying stocks. That's what I was trying to get out there, everybody. I'll be all right. It's December the 26th, Boxing Day. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Anything over 1,000 at this stage is always good. Let's see, right? Let's see where we're at 1 year from today. Hopefully we are at least 30% higher than that. That's the minimum goal. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here throughout the year. So first off, let's go up to the announcement here. YMax and YMag are your weekly pairs. YMax here paid 24 cents this week, which is higher than the last 2 weeks, which is pretty good. Double last week, slightly higher than the week before that. So that's pretty awesome. Let's take a look at YMax here on the charts. So if you go to the 1 day, let's go to the 5 day, right? So 5 days ago, it's gone up 1% since then, which is good. It's recovered over top of the 12 cents. Good. Go to the 1 month, down 2.47%. And if you look at the last 6 months, down almost 10%, but 9.10%. Uh, Fairly stable ETF. But I'm not super like pumped about the price. I mean, you're here to make income, which is true, but you also don't want your price of your ETF to go down at the same time. So that's how I feel about that. Let's move on to YMAG. YMAG paying out 17 cents this week, a little higher than the week before, but the week before that 27 and 20 cents, and then that down there 5 weeks ago 6 cents. Gross. YMAG though, very stable so far. If you take a look at the last month here, it's up 3.65, and I mean it's only down 0.71% over the last 6 months. So you got to be happy with the NAV stability. Little to no erosion so far. One thing is that it does pay out it looks like a slightly smaller distribution every week, but I mean, out of the two so far, I'm really into having my price stay the same while getting paid, or at least my price going up a little bit while getting paid. So if the price of what I paid for the ETF goes down, plus I'm getting paid, I don't love it as much. That's for sure. But that's just me. You guys might be different. That's just how I feel. Let's talk about the granddaddy. Why you're probably here. Tesley this month paying out $1.28, which is pretty huge for Tesley. It makes me a little bit nervous that Tesley might be falling into old habits. Let's take a look at Tesley here. $1.28. Last month or 4 weeks ago, $1.22, and then down 59 cents and $1.09. So paying out another $1.28. The price of the ETF has gone up here over the last month 11%. Tesla itself went up 35% in that same time. So Tesla had some huge gains. It was all the way up to $479 at one point, but yeah, it came back down. Now this worries me because I've seen Tesla do this before, where they paid out a lot of money. If we scroll all the way down here, prior to the split, they were paying out huge distributions, and we noticed that the share price of Tesla went down. So are we doing it again? Is that what's happening here? Because Tesla has climbed so high so fast, were they able to capture enough money to pay you your distribution without negatively affecting the share price? That's the question you should be asking yourself and asking YieldMax. I don't have the answer for you because I haven't ran those numbers, but I noticed that that is something that they did before. And when they did that before, whenever Tesla had a down swing, which Tesla does sometimes, they had to do the share split. So that's the only concern I would have. I love that you guys are going to be able to get such a huge distribution. I think that's awesome. I'm just concerned about the longevity of the fund. That's all. That's something that I would be paying attention to. Let's go on to the next one, which is the inverse fund of Tesla. It's Crash here. Throw out some Dave Matthews Band, but Crash paying out 37 cents. That makes sense that it's a little bit lower, because I mean, yeah, 37 cents last 4 weeks ago as well. Nice. That makes sense though, because Tesla was quite a bit up, right? So there's your Crash. Crash has a disgustingly low price, and for me that's not investable. If you take a look at the last 6 months, down 66.86%. Came up a little bit right there, didn't it? But for me, that's a no dog. I'm not doing that one. It started, if we go to the 1 year, started at even that down 69%, $14. Okay. Wow. So, down 69% total, which is not good, right? And then you take a look at the distributions, all under $1. A lot of people think about joining the inverse funds. If you take a look at all of the inverse funds at YieldMax, they've all been downswings in the share price. Yeah, you get a monthly, 4 week. I'm going to call it monthly, okay? 4 week distribution. But is it worth it? I don't think it is personally, but you do you with your money. Absolutely. Don't trust the YouTuber. Do your own research or research into this and find out if that's something that you want to do. No hard feelings, right? I feel like you might be able to find something that fits the way you want to trade. But for me, the way I want to trade, I like that stability in the share price plus getting that distribution. So that's why so far Misty and Nvidia have been incredible for me. Coney, I'm in at a lower share price. My average is around $16.30. So, um, but Coney's that one that's a little iffy for me when it comes to that strategy, that thought process of mine. Let's go on to the next one, talking about old steady here, which is GUI, which is a Google Play, paying out 63 cents. If you add up the last 2 months combined, that equals the same. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right one. I am. Wow. So they paid out really small amounts the last 2 months here. So, last 3 months, 4 months, they paid out a small amount. But let's take a look at the share price itself. GUI is not super volatile, or sorry, Google is not super volatile. And so maybe they're not making a ton of income on that because of that low volatility. But down 14% over the last 6 months. I mean, is Google down 14% in the last 6 months? It's not. Google's up, right? So why is this down? Are I can't even say, are they paying you too much on the distribution? Because they're not. They're definitely not, right? So sometimes when they pay you too much, it takes out of the price of the shares or the ETF, but that's not happening in this case. So why is this fund not going up as Google goes up, right? And so I don't know. It doesn't look good, right? Now Curve, who I haven't really spent too much time looking at, they have some options plays here for you. And again, this is me looking at this for the first time. They have a Google Play called Goop. I just said Google and my phone went off. Goop. And so they pay quite a bit lower in the distribution, although, I mean, it's not that much lower. Let's take a look here. We're doing it live, everybody. We're doing it live. So, okay. There we go. So 50 cents was their last one. They just paid it out here today. Wow, nice. But you can see 38, 37, 37. And they're roughly the same as GUI. But it appears, can I go to the Goop over here? It appears the share price is relatively stable over the last 6 months. So are they doing it better? I don't know. Are they doing it different? I don't know. Maybe we should look into that one day, right? But yeah, I mean, share price stable, still paying a distribution every month. Could be a good one for people to look into in the future if you want something that's not super volatile, doesn't pay a ton, but your share price stays relatively the same so far. Could be a good one to look into in the future. I just typed in Curve and I found that for you guys. So I'm going to move on. Let's talk about YBit here. So Y to the bit. Paying out 70 cents is a Bitcoin play. I want to do a deeper dive into YBit down the road here, because I know a lot of people make comments like, why is YBit not going way up, or paying out a huge distribution with the volatility of Bitcoin. But we'll leave that for another day. I definitely want to dive into it though. So what was it? 70 cents? Yeah, 70 cents. Take a look at the last month, or 4 weeks ago, $1.26, 67, 79. So it's fairly stable with some of them that they paid out. YBit share price though is down 24% in the last 6 months on a bull market for Bitcoin. That's strange, right? Down 35% so far this year. It came out in April. And yeah, it's strange that the share price is down while paying out a pretty good distribution so far. If I scroll all the way up here, it tells us that its current distribution rate is 122%, which is really good, but maybe too much to sustain. I'll go back to this again, the share price at an even level. Next up, we're talking OARC. ARC K is the underlying. Kathy Woods called. She wants her ETF back. This one's very steady. OARC here today paying out 32 cents. Well, on the 30th, which is Monday. 32 cents, which is a lower than last 4 weeks ago, last month here. And yeah, they hover around the same amount. OARC price itself, $11 in the last 6 months. It's up 4%. Just kind of hanging out. OARC here, just hanging out, not doing anything too positive, too negative, but it is paying out a steady. Let's go back up to the top here. 55% distribution rate today. Not bad. I'm curious about how much money is in this fund. 69 million. So there's a lot of you that are in it. It's not even close to one of their biggest funds at YieldMax, but still a lot of people are in it. OARC, you probably, if you look back at the last year, you're probably okay because it's, the price has stayed relatively the same. You've gotten a payment every month. So you can't be too angry at that. Next up, XOMO, I like to call it Zomo, paying out 24 cents. So 24 cents is quite a bit lower than last month here, but 24 cents is quite a bit lower than most months, actually. Yeah, they hover around that 30-cent mark monthly or every month there. So share price to 14.70. I don't have much to say about Zomo. I don't spend any time looking at it at all, but you can see here it didn't survive the recession of November 22nd. As I'm being sarcastic, there was no recession then, but it's gone straight downhill since then, right? So 17 bucks back then, and now it's 14.75. Not good. Next up, we have Snoy, Snow to the E, Snowy, Snowy, 56 cents. This is its 7th payment. Is this Snowy? Oh my goodness. That's a huge drop from last month. I know Snowflake had a massive month 4 weeks ago. So yeah, huge drop, but I mean it's in parallel to a couple of the other payments there. Snowy itself, pretty stable fund here, down 6% in the last 6 months. Snowflake itself in that same time up 27%. So you're probably better to invest in the underlying on this one. Now, that 27% might be a little bit unfair because you can see here on the chart, we had a huge mountain to climb, just a straight peak up. And, it's been kind of hovering around the same ever since November 21st there. Snowflake, Snowy. Yeah. How much is it paying again? 56 cents. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't do much for me, especially with my tax rate. Not doesn't really, do much for what I want to do in life. But again, if you're in the US and you have it in the right type of accounts, it could do good for you, especially if you have enough shares of it. Snowy. Next up, TSMY, paying out 80 cents, which is decent for sure. This is the last one on the list, actually, TSMY. 80 cents. So far they paid out 53, 88, and 37. TSMY share price $20.35, up just over 1% since it's come out here in August. So you got to be happy with that. But if you look at TSM or Taiwan Semiconductor, over the last 6 months, they're up 18% in that time. So yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, I mean, might have made more economical sense to invest in the underlying on that one. But yeah, why I'm here on YieldMax is to get that monthly distribution. So maybe that's the same thing for you with TSMY. So far, this will be its 4th payment, which is pretty cool. But I mean, the fund is fairly stable. The underlying so far, knock on wood with me, everybody, is also pretty stable. So tough to see. So there you go. There's my thumbnail I made. And there are 2 other ones in here. Now, these are brand new, Feet and 5e. So these are going to be coming out 4 weeks from now with their distribution announcement, but they are going to be part of Group A. I don't have anything in Group A. Feet does look pretty decent. Yeah, Feet doesn't look too shabby. 5e looks kind of cool too. I don't think they're going to be paying a ton of money at all. Something about 1%, that sort of thing. But 1% call, that kind of thing. But yeah, those could be good options in the future. They're brand new. They just came out, so who knows what's going to happen with that. So by the way, I haven't asked for it, but if you could hit the subscribe button for me, I'm trying to get to 5,000 people by this time next year. Right now, I'm halfway there, like Bon Jovi. I'm living on a prayer, and I just wanted to ask for that subscribe. I appreciate that. So also, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, I do post a lot of YieldMax conversation on Twitter here. And so yeah, a lot of YieldMax stuff on there. A lot of stock retweets, things like that. Also, you can see my videos being posted on there. So if you ever miss out on them, you can get them there. A lot of my subscribers, by the way, thank you for this, are hitting the bell notification so that every time my video comes up, they get to join the live stream of those videos and chit chat with me. I really love being able to do that with you guys. It's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun, actually. So I'll leave it there. That's Group A. Let me know in the comments. Again, I had 4 things I was looking for. Which one do you have? What do you like? What don't you like? And which one are you thinking about investing in Group A specifically? That's what we're looking for in the comments today. I just wanted to say thanks for having me today. And Tom Brady Green Jr. behind me here just got a dumping of water. It's feeling good. And yeah, I hope you have a great Boxing Day. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Mike. This right here is Health and Wealth. Have a wonderful